Hello and welcome to Nitro Talk. We are at Lake Park in lovely Tampa, Florida. It is 71 degrees out here, November 15th. Just absolutely beautiful. That is the Lake Park track over there behind the fence. We will be heading over there very shortly. They just recently redid the track to a new layout, which I am not familiar with yet, so I won't be burning up the laps, but we are going to fire up the buggy today. So this is going to be an update on the Gimar. Please like and subscribe if you're into nitro engines, vehicles, anything to do with the nitro side of the RC hobby. I did the breakdown of the Gimar P5 when I got it, and like I said, I was going to be breaking it in and giving her a checkout. As you can see, it does not have the Gimar head on it. This is an aftermarket head. I do not like to use the Novarossi heads. I like to keep them, and I don't put the guards on them. I just put a different head on that's already has some scratches, so that's no problem. I'll just keep the original in good shape. So now, like I said, the engine was new, so I had to break it in. I wanted to do that on camera, but I came out here on a Sunday and tons of people around, and I don't want to make videos in front of people. I guess I feel weird about it. So I broke in the engine. The engine is broken in, ready to go, but has not been tuned at all. It is through break-in, but the needles are still set for break-in. So we will get it fired up, and we will check it out. Now, because the engine is still essentially brand new, I am going to give it a good heat up prior to attempting to start it. So I'm going to throw the engine head heater on here, juice it up, and I'm going to start that head heating. All right, we don't want to sit and watch that head heat. So now that I am such an awesome videographer that I can attach two clips together, I will end this here, and I'm going to restart when the engine is hot, and we're going to fire it up. I will see you then. All right, hello again, and through the magic of whatever, we have heated up our engine now, nice and fully hot. Give it a couple cycles, so we are good and warm. So now I have the tank filled up with fresh fuel. I am going to prime and start this bad bee. I have my glow igniter fully charged as well. So let's go ahead and give this a prime. And I think we should fire right up. It is really rich. Let me give it a little gas. Spitting on the camera, so let me go ahead. Like I said, it is, let me back up here a little bit. It is in break-in needle settings still. So we basically just need to get it a good tune on it, and then we can take it out to the track. So gonna let it run through a little bit. Like I said, it's just got finished with break-in, so I'm gonna let it run for a little bit before I start messing with it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I'll start giving her a tune. But for the time being, you know, let me go ahead and go ahead and set you up on here. Alright. So we've got her running. She, you know, the idle is a bit high because that's how I have it for break-in. But we will drop that idle down and find a good tune for it. Let's go ahead and get working on that. I also want to mention it does not have the plug that came in the engine. I have a P3 plug, which I've mentioned before. I run in all of my engines. I run a P3 plug. You know what? Let's I'm gonna go ahead and lower that idle. Now, the buggy is not on, the receiver is not turned on, but I do have a throttle return rubber band set up on here. So it is, when I lower the idle, the rubber bands are pulling the throttle closed. But I'm going to go ahead and grab my transmitter and turn her on. Always, I don't know if I've mentioned this, but always transmitter on first and transmitter off last. Your transmitter should always be on if your vehicle is on. So I have my transmitter on, and I make sure to select the proper model. I run different models on the same radio. Alright, so I can turn on the buggy now, and as you can see, we are connected. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and let me back up a little bit because I'm going to clear it out now. See there, when I start to get into the throttle, it starts to bog, and you see a lot of oil coming out of the exhaust because it is still set really rich. Alright, I was actually able to give it a full pull there. And yeah, you never, I was actually speaking with another YouTuber in their comment section a little bit ago about how these nitro engines are not made to be wide open throttle for long periods of time. Airplane, helicopter, boat engines are, but these land engines are not. If you are you know, running, let's say, you know, doing some drifting around, like I was doing some drifting in the grass a few weeks ago in the video, you want to modulate that throttle, work it back and forth, don't hold it wide open peg. So I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. This engine, like I said, I have not touched the needles at all. It is still break-in settings. Let's go ahead and rev her up again. So it's liking, it's having no problem revving up. Now, on a side note, if anyone's interested, I do have a low-C 4-shoe clutch on here and a 14-tooth clutch bell on this Hyper 7. All right, I'm going to go ahead and just give myself a little bit, lean about maybe 1/8 of a turn on the high-speed needle. Now our idle is still kind of high. It drops down to, you know, decent. I wouldn't really be mad at that idle. I like it a little bit lower. I love a nice low idle. I think as small as you can get your idle gap and have your engine still running dependably, that's the way to go. I like as small as idle gap as I can get. So I'm going to close that gap a little bit more. Alrighty. You know, I think it's about time to take it over to the track and actually run it. I don't like tuning on the box when I can tune on the ground. So I'm going to fill up that fuel tank. Let me go ahead and clear it out one more time. Now it doesn't appear to be loading up very badly, so that low end isn't too far off. But let's go ahead and rev her out one more time. Yeah, I'm not mad at it at all for being in the state that it's in. I haven't really messed with the needles much. It's revving pretty good. Dropping back down to a fairly decent idle so far. Haven't even messed with the low end. You know, I think let's go ahead and get her over to the track, and we will run it back and forth on the straightaway and set those needles. All right, so I'm going to end this one here. I'm not sure if I could put 3 video clips together. I believe I can, but if not, this I guess will be a 2-parter. But I'm going to go set up on the track, and either way, I will see you soon. See you then. All right, how we doing? We are back again. We are here on the straightaway at beautiful Lake Park. Hopefully this is a continuation of the other 2 parts. If not, welcome back. I got the buggy down over here, and I'll tell you what, it is so rich, I'm going to have trouble not stalling it. I wanted to lean it out a little bit just to make sure it would stay running, but I wanted y'all to be there for everything I was doing. So this engine, after break-in, you saw me. Oh, and I want to make one more little side note. I'm uploading a video on tire balancing. If you go back and watch my buggy on the box, those are properly balanced tires. Those things are not shaking at all. All right, so I'm going to try to not stall this thing out. It will barely move, is how rich it is. You'll see plenty of smoke coming out of the exhaust. Oh, and that's the other thing I forgot to mention. We are running the associated 2035 exhaust. I had that pipe on my SH engine that was in this buggy prior. I really liked it, the 2035, so I'm giving it a shot here on the Gimar. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing over to me and get it a quarter, an eighth. Let's go ahead and start with an eighth of a turn on the high-speed needle. First, I'll show you what it's doing right now. I'm trying not to stall it. Anything more than that, and it just starts gurgling. Now, as you can see by my tires, the track is not sopping wet, but it is a little moist. So at least we'll be getting good grip today. All right, so we are super rich. Let's go ahead and give it that quarter turn. Eighth of a turn. And I'm going to try my darndest not to stall this thing. Alright, so we've got our eighth of a turn on there. Oh, see there, even right there, it's still starting to gurgle. Really, really rich. See right there? You get into it at all, and it just gurgles. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give it another 8. That's me pulling the throttle a little bit, making sure it doesn't stall. Alright, so we've given it another 8. I can get more of a pull on it. All right. Starting to wake up a little bit. Still plenty rich, still got a nice smoke trail. But at least now I can give it some throttle, and it goes, it doesn't gurgle. We're getting somewhere. I'm gonna go ahead and give it another little 1/8. We're certainly not too lean. All right, let's see what we can do now. we're getting up there. That's a lovely idle. I am digging that. That idle is not upsetting me one bit. Now, if you watched my video on the Gimar P5 where I took it apart and looked at the parts, I had pretty high hopes for it. I thought it was made of very good parts, albeit older parts, but very, very good parts. And I said that I thought I would get some really good performance out of the Gimar P5. So far, I'm liking what I see. We still have a bit to go, I believe, on the high end on this thing. But so far, that idle is lovely. Just a chugging along. All right, let's go ahead and clear it out. And let's go ahead and give her another 8 on that high speed. And let's see what we got now. You can see, hear it. Towards the end, it's winding out pretty good already. Still have plenty of smoke. It is nothing at all resembling a lean bog whatsoever yet. I'm gonna go ahead and give her another 8. Alrighty. She's starting to sound pretty good. Whoa, oh, ran through the tank. That was, yeah, I probably should have been paying attention. Well, I mean, that was a full tank. I kind of wasn't expecting it to run out that soon. So what do I do right now? When my engine shuts off, the very first thing I do is quickly take that piston and drop it down to bottom dead center. This engine is hot. It's going to be cooling because it has stalled. So I'm going to take that quickly, get that piston down to bottom dead center where it belongs, so that I can get this thing fired back up here shortly. I tell you what, a little bit muddy. Yeah, I'm doing this for y'all. I don't like running on muddy track, but we needed to do this today. Let me go ahead and shut my receiver off. Shut my radio off. Yeah, I tell you what, I am digging the P5, Gimar P5 so far. Ran through that tank there, giving her tune. I mean, okay, I can kind of understand. I was first, when it shut off, I was thinking, man, did that tank die already? Does this thing have bad fuel mileage? But then, you know, those first few runs, it was super rich, gurgly rich. So I could see running through that tank. I'm not mad at it. for running through that tank seemingly pretty quickly. But again, I love that idle. Drops down to a nice idle already. Still have not touched that bottom needle at all. And if you watch my P5 Gimar P5 video, I said that is the Alpha CRF carburetor. I showed you that it was, and I said, why did I have that Alpha carburetor at hand, essentially? Because that's a spare carb I keep in my pit bag, because it is an excellent carburetor. So again, that's an excellent carburetor on there, and it's showing that it is so far. I'm really liking it. And we still have a bit to go, I believe, on that high speed. I think we certainly have some more top end to go on this, but really liking it so far. I'm going to go clean her up a little bit, and we'll get it fired back up and tuned the rest of the way. I think it's really close. It is really close. We'll get it tuned the rest of the way, and then we're going to run some laps. See y'all then. Have a good one. I'm having a great one today. I'm glad y'all are with me. Alrighty, welcome back to Nitro Talk. We are refueled, we are refired, and I have knocked off as much of the track that was stuck to the car as I could really quickly. There was a ton of it, but I have not touched those needles. So like I said, I think it's really close, but I'm going to give it a proper race tune, and then I'm going to try to turn a couple laps with it. Alright, so let's go ahead and clear it out. While, of course, trying not to stall it. Nice smoke trail, always love to see that. Get it up to, that's the other thing. Okay, yeah, I just fired this up maybe 2 minutes before I started the camera, just to get it over to the track. So it is not up to operating temperature. Before you start tuning on an engine, you must get it up to full operating temperature. So we're going to run this thing a few laps. Not laps, but a few back and forths here on the straightaway. Make sure we are at full operating temperature. That one got me in the eye. All right. I think we're getting there. We're getting pretty good performance. If this was all this engine had, I expect a little more out of this engine. I certainly do. So let's go ahead and see. I'm gonna go ahead and give her another 8 and see how she likes it. Of course, my tires are no longer in balance because they're full of mud. Alright, we got another 8. Let's see how she likes it. She's starting to wind out pretty good. I still think she's got a little bit to go though. Let's go ahead and do another eighth real quick. And let's see what she thinks about that. I'm liking it. Still no indication whatsoever of a lean bald. Now we're winding out pretty good. Hope my camera isn't totally splashed with dirt. But I tell you what, you know, this engine being still brand new, you know, I don't see no reason to push it. I could get some really, this right here, this is more power than I can handle around a track. I am no expert driver whatsoever. So this right here is more than enough power for me. You know, I do want to see what she can do. Let me go ahead and give her one more eighth. Now you hear that? When I bringing it to a stop, now that idle is rising. So now we're starting to get a little lean on the bottom end, which can happen. That bottom end was pretty close this whole time. So of course, now that I'm leaning out the top end more, that bottom end is leaning out more, and now is a bit lean on the bottom. So I'm going to richen up the bottom a tad, while also giving that top another quarter lean, and I'm going to see, I'm going to test that out. So I keep saying a quarter lean. I'm doing an eighth every time. Never mind me if you hear me say a quarter. I'm always doing eighth turns on that needle. Yeah, I was worried about that. I picked the car up because I have to lift the body up to get at the low speed needle. So I'm going to get in there. Obviously, quickly move my piston down to bottom dead center. Of course, the engine just shut off. Alright, so I've went ahead and given it that quarter rich on the bottom and lean on the top. Should have probably did one at a time on those. You know, I feel like I know what I'm doing, but I should be telling y'all the proper way to do these things. So certainly only adjust one needle at a time and check the results of that change, and then if you want to do another change, go ahead. So I'm going to fire this thing back up. Hopefully won't be too tough, and I think I'm ready to take it up. Now I don't put pegs on my box. I kind of just do it my own way. Alright, let's take her back over here to the track. And I am carrying the camera with one hand, working the throttle with the other hand, and I am steering with my chin. I'm actually, look at that, I'm actually pretty good at that, aren't I? Alright. So now, let's go ahead, before I take the walk up to the track, up to the crow's nest, let's go ahead and see how this is gonna run. Oh, you know what? Let me go ahead while I'm thinking about it and fill up the fuel tank. Let me do that real quick. Got a full tank. And I think this should be pretty close. It's about ready for me to go up and do some laps. Might have to adjust that bottom needle, but I think we're pretty good on top. You know, how you tune an engine for maximum power is you tune it, you lean it, until you get a lean bog, and then you back it off a touch. I have not gotten that lean bog yet. Am I trying to go for that lean bog? Am I trying to go for maximum power? I really shouldn't. I really shouldn't be trying to show off for you guys either. This engine is just past break-in. The responsible thing to do, you know what? That's it. I'm going to teach y'all the responsible thing to do. I'm getting plenty of power out of this buggy engine, plenty enough power for this track, so I'm not going to keep on leaning. No, I don't think it's going to hurt the engine whatsoever. Yes, I do think the engine has a little bit more top end, but there really is no need. I will teach y'all how to tune for maximum power. That's something that you do need to learn and know how to do. But you also need to know that that's not how you run a nitro engine. If you want to get the maximum life out of your nitro engine, you run it just short of maximum power. 90 to 95% of your power. That is plenty of power. And you will get a lot longer life out of your engine. Your engine will love you for taking care of it, right? So, this engine is, right now, as we speak, giving plenty of power for this track. So I'm going to clear it out, and then I'm going to set up and run her around the track a couple times. Clearing out, revving up, no issues. And I tell you what, you saw how it raised up there ever so slightly. It did ever so slightly, but it did raise up a touch. For a perfect tune, I would richen that bottom end needle ever so slightly, maybe a 1/16 of a turn. And I think that's going to set my bottom needle just right. It won't do that little raise up like it did, just ever so slightly when it came to a stop there. But yeah, I'm like torn. I want to get going, do some laps, but I also want to show you guys how to do these things exactly right. There's exactly right, and there's a way that you should do it. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's, you know what? I'm going to go ahead, risk stalling it again. That's why I don't want to adjust that bottom end needle. I don't want to risk stalling it again. You know what? Let me give it. Yeah, I mean, it does need to be richened up ever so slightly on that bottom end needle. So I'm going to attempt to do it without stalling it. Give me 1 second. Plenty of power. Plenty of power. You know, that's staying right there. It's not going up or down. So at this point, I would close the idle gap another little touch. That's a low idle. It's not absolutely perfect, but I'm liking it. It's dropping down just fine. It'll be perfectly good for a few laps around the track. Let me go ahead and top off the tank, and then we'll run her around. Yeah, I like that. That's a nice low idle. All right, we are fueled up. I'm going to take and see where's a good vantage point so that you can see the track from up here. Beautiful facility here at Lake Park. It costs $2 to get in here. And do not pass by the pay station. Pay your $2. They're providing you with beautiful facilities here. Look at this. The city of St. Petersburg provides this, and all they ask for is $2 to come and use this beautiful facility. Pay your $2 and be grateful. I am grateful for the opportunity to pay $2 to use this beautiful facility here, of course. All right, let's see. That's going to be right where the rail is, of course. You know, let's go all the way up here. Maybe we can get... No, of course it's going to be right on the railing as well. All right, you know what? Let's try this. There we go. Is that going to work? Give me a second. If watch, we're probably going to stall. Me up here messing around. All right. All right. Yeah, but you can't really see the whole track. I'd love for you to be able to see the whole track. Let's try it Oh, you know what? Let's get on the corner here. See if we can balance there. There we go. Can I tilt this? Yes. Tilt that. There we go. Move that back. I think that's about the best view we're gonna get. So, all right. To stall this thing. Try to get her cleared out, and I'll give it some running around the track. We'll see the Gimar P5, how it likes the track. Let's see. Triple. There it is. All right, finally, the walk of shame. You know, I got a few laps out of it. I don't know how well y'all got to see it, but I'm gonna go ahead and shut her off and put the piston down where it goes, bottom dead center. And I tell you what, I had a fun time running the Gimar P5. I could tell that near the at the end of the straightaway, it was winding out pretty good. But on other parts of the track, I still need to lean that top end out a little bit for better performance. But it was winding out pretty good at the end of the straightaway. And yeah, I was liking it so far. Let's go ahead, shut her off, drop that. Drop that piston down, bottom dead center, just like that. I'll shut my radio off, and I'll go ahead and end this video. Fun little day at the track. I'm glad I got to finally get out here, run some laps at beautiful Lake Park on the new layout. That was I did run a couple laps on it on Sunday, but that was my first time getting some laps on it. Certainly with my Hyper 7, I ran my Kyosho on it on Sunday. So that was my first time running the Hyper 7 on it with the Gimar P5. And it did okay. A little bit, needs a little bit more top end, but we will get there. I'm digging it so far. Y'all have a great day. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time.